and welcome to this Making Tax Digital for Dynamics 365 Business Central special. In this video we explore the setup required within Business Central and also how the connection and submission process works. Let's begin by reviewing the setup within Business Central. Luckily, this will be completed for you automatically. So here we are within Business Central, and the first area of setup is the VAT Reports configuration screen. As you can see, this is populated, and you can see here we've got the Hmrc MTD VAT report version, and this is the one that Business Central will use for your submission. The next step would be to create 3 number series for 3 different types of documents, and then the VAT report setup screen, which again should be automatically populated, will then take the combination of this information, so the number series and my report version, along with various receive and submission code units that Business Central needs to communicate with the Hmrc portal or API. Within your setup, you'll have your VAT statement for GB VAT reporting, and within my VAT GB return, I simply need each box numbered 1 to 9, obviously to match the submission boxes that you're used to doing. And then finally, you need to establish the connection and complete the authorization process. This is done through the service connection window, so this is something you will need to do. So if we go to service connections and then pick up the Hmrc VAT setup screen, and you can see again a lot of this information is already populated, and I'm being prompted to choose request authorization code. To make it easy to establish communications, Business Central provides this Hmrc VAT setup service connection, which contains most of the information needed to communicate with Hmrc. To finish this connection, you must give the Dynamics 365 Business Central Making Tax Digital application the authority to interact with Hmrc on your behalf. You give permission by requesting an authorization code from Hmrc and then copying it into this screen. So the process you follow is to click on Authorize, and as long as your Making Tax Digital setup is complete, you will link straight into the Hmrc web portal. If you go through the Government Gateway login process, you will then receive an authorization code which you must copy and paste into this Enter Authorization Code field here, which I have highlighted. You're now connected and ready to start the submission process. So the next part of the process, before you can actually submit the return, there's a few extra steps that you'll need to follow. First of all, you need to pull in your Hmrc Vat Obligations. Hmrc maintains a list of VAT obligations for companies, which are the periods for which they must report VAT and the due date for that report. Hmrc exposes this information through their APIs, which enables Business Central to retrieve the obligations. Business Central stores VAT obligations as VAT return periods and uses them to automatically enter start and end dates when you create VAT returns. So here we are within Business Central, and I've done a quick search for the VAT return period screen. As you'll notice, I haven't got any return periods in here. That's because this particular instance I have is not configured with the Hmrc portal. The process you must follow is clicking on the process option up here and get VAT return periods. Once those VAT return periods appear in your screen and the connection to the API is successful, if you pick up a period and then create VAT return. Business Central will create a VAT return for you, which you may then manage via this screen to navigate and open the VAT return card. Alternatively, you can search for VAT returns and your VAT return will appear here. And when you open this screen, the VAT return will be populated with the lines 1 to 9 of your VAT statement. From here, your next step is then to submit your return. From this screen, your first step will be to release. Once you have released your VAT return and your status has changed to release, you can then submit your return. Finally, step 3 is where you have a response, and the status here will change to approved. Once you receive an approved response, the status will change on the VAT return. This will then allow you to move on to your final VAT reporting process, which is the calc and post VAT settlement process within Business Central. This will close off the VAT entries for the period you've just reported on. Not only does the Making Tax Digital app have the submission process, there is also an API to pull information back in from Hmrc to do with your VAT liabilities and VAT payments, so you can actually see what Hmrc are viewing within their account on their side. If you enjoyed this video, please take a look at Dynamics 365 University for our other Business Central courses. See you again soon.